Welcome to another lesson. I'm here today to talk about something very valuable to doing what? Building and cultivating relationships, representing your brand, and learning how to do both while working in your industry. The three needs of success are network market practice. Well, today we're going to go over how the value of being loyal, honest, and sincere helps both build and cultivate those relationships that you're building in your and developing in your circle of influence, how to establish your brand value and what you represent and who you are, and of course, how practicing those skills will build and cultivate not only those relationships, but your brand's awareness and create interest that ultimately generates sales for people to buy into you and say, let's work together. So today, our video is going to explain how to show loyalty, the value of honesty, and ways to be sincere. As always, I'm Thomas J. Beleza. Please like, comment, and share this video along with subscribing for future content on how to be successful in your career, specifically the entertainment industry. We go over the process of what you need to do to get to where you're going. All right, let's get started. So like I said, today we're going to go over these 3 points. How to show loyalty, the value of honesty, and 3 ways to show sincerity. So we want to define those 3 things so we can really elaborate it. And once we kind of define it, I'm going to go over it a little bit, and then we're going to show examples of what you can do to how, the value of, and the ways. Okay? So first off, loyalty, as defined, is doing right by others as you would do to yourself. So if you're doing something with or to somebody and you wouldn't want it done to you, you have just learned that you are not being loyal. However, if somebody is doing something to you that you feel you would never do to them, then they are being disloyal. So think of loyalty as a barometer based on your actions. If you're going to be someone who's untrustworthy and not sincere, then the people you surround yourself have the right to be dishonest and insincere. So learn how to represent the value sets that you want to see in the people around you. Because remember, the 5 people you hang out with the most become the world you live in. So if you're surrounding yourself with loyal people because you are loyal, your team will grow. And a part of loyalty is honesty, and sincerity is represented through being that honest. All right. Honesty for us is literally being honest with yourself and others by allowing truth to be in both your words and actions. Our behavior, the way we represent ourselves, the way we give our word, the way we do not hide who we are is honesty. Because the values we bring to a situation aren't based on what we say our values are. If you go, hey, I could do that, and that, and then your brain is like, but I'll figure it out on the way. That's not honest. There's no honesty in, I'll figure that out later. There is honesty in, hey, I'll do it, just so you know, I'm not an expert in that, and I might need some help figuring out. In fact, just give me some guidance and I'll do it. That honesty creates the loyal bond, and people go, I can trust you because I know you will be able to tell me when and where you are capable or incapable. Honesty is very important in that situation for working relationships in any industry, but specifically the entertainment industry. Sincerity. So sincerity is acting with no intent for personal gain, but to do for the growth of relationships and the mission. What that means is if we act, our intent should only be placed on growing the relationships and growing the mission. So if you work with one person or 100 people, there should be a mission between you two. Either you're joining their mission, they're joining your mission, or you've decided to come together and say, hey, we both believe in A, B, and C. Why don't we do something? And the sincerity is that everything you're doing is to grow the mission and the relationship. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 people involved, doesn't matter. Everybody should be there to grow the relationship value and to grow the mission. If you are working with people and their goal is to grow the mission, to help themselves, that is not sincerity. If they are there to use everyone else's effort growing the mission to grow the relationships, if you put time to grow a relationship because you want them to keep you there, so they do the work to build the mission so you can benefit from it, that is not sincerity. Sincerity is literally getting involved, putting time into one or more people or missions, and being there for the growth of those relationships and the growth of the mission. Meaning you could just be hanging out with people, you have no mission, you don't want to film something, you don't want to do a comedy show, you don't want to work on a book together, whatever it is. The mission would be like, we want to accomplish X, Y, and Z. The growth is just that, well, I like these people, I want to hang out with them. Boom. Now that sounds like intent. Well, they want to have friends. Well, that's not intent for personal gain. That's intent for relationship. I like these people. I want to get to know them. I want to be friends with them. But if it's, I like these people because they have something to give me, they have resources, well, that is not being sincere. Being sincere is simply those two things: growing relationship value with no interest of gain, and growing a mission with no interest of self-gain. That's very important. So it's personal gain. You're building a relationship with people not for personal gain, but for the relationship growth. And when it comes to a mission, you're not working on a mission for personal gain. Like, for example, let's say you're working with a group of people and their mission is growing, and you're like, oh, let me get involved with that mission. And then it's like, oh, I'm growing my star. I need to let my wings fly. And then you leave the mission and you leave them high and dry because you use that as a stepping stone to get an opportunity. And you never look back. You don't care what happens with them. That's not sincere. All right. So now that we know what loyalty is, honesty, and sincerity, let's talk a little bit about how to show loyalty, the value of that honesty that's within loyalty, and ways to show sincerity. How do we tell the truth by being loyal and do it in a way that doesn't seem selfish or self-righteous, right? Okay. So loyalty. Let's talk about 6 points to loyalty. Loyalty, think of it this way. If you stick with others when things are bad, if you're in a situation with people and you're trying to show loyalty, there's a really great quote by Will Smith. It's like, if you don't want to be around me when things are bad, why should I have you around me when things are great, right? So loyalty is just being there, going through the heartaches, not at the expense of your boundaries. No. If you have boundaries, obviously live to your boundaries. Don't get taken advantage of. But understand what your line is. If you're a part of a mission or you're a part of a relationship, friends or otherwise, or working, and the ship is going down, and you're like, well, if I abandon it, I'll survive because I could just jump on that boat, the lifeboat. And you're like, but if everyone else jumps on the lifeboat, we're all going to die. So I'm going to sneak off and jump. That's not loyalty. The loyalty would be the honest factor. Hey, guys, there's 5 of us. There's one boat. What do we got to do? We got to figure out a way to make this work. And now you're being sincere because you actually want everyone to survive. So how do we do it together as a team? So stick with others when things are going bad to show loyalty. Okay? Can you be trusted, or is your promise empty? This comes down to things. If somebody asks you to do something, you say, yes, I can do it, but you can't do it. That aspect of lying means that you are not loyal because you can't be trusted. You can't trust somebody with an empty word. You can't trust someone that says they will do it and then don't do it. You can't trust someone that says they can do it, but they have no idea how to do it. So can they be trusted, or are their promises empty? So this is important for you as well. Like you, the viewer, understanding how do we represent that loyalty and how do we understand loyalty? And in this situation, we represent it by sticking by others even when things are going bad, not at the cost of your boundaries. But if the ship is going down, how do we get everybody to be aware of everything? And how do we work on this to try to save everybody, not just yourself? And be trusted. If you say you can do something, make sure you can do it. Or ask for help. If you say you will do something, do it. If someone says, hey, can you watch the dog? and then you say yes, and then you go off and do your own thing, and then the dog is all by himself, you can't be trusted because you said one thing and you did something else, right? So you got to learn how to trust people, and you have to do things that are trustworthy. Stick to your word, okay? Support others even when it doesn't benefit. So this is important too for loyalty. So we say this all the time, right? We share other people's stuff. We like other people's stuff. And sometimes we like our friends' stuff. But how often do you send your friend's stuff to someone else's inbox? You know, like if you're on Facebook, we send people memes all the time. Oh, look at this meme. It's very funny. Well, watch this video. Very funny. How often do you do that for the people you care about, the people you are loyal to? And how many people do that for you, right? If they're not doing it and you're not doing it, somebody's got to start to show, hey, let's do it together, right? So loyalty is also supporting other things. Let's say you have a friend who's a musician, sharing their music, going to a show, maybe helping them out when and where you can. Same thing with comedy. I can work the door. Let me work the door. I'll help you with your show, right? Oh, you got jokes? Why don't you try your jokes out on me? Let me hear the rhythm. I'll be an audience. I'll give you. I'm not a comedian, but I'll. Loyalty is supporting others even when it doesn't benefit you. It doesn't benefit you to do the door. It doesn't benefit you to sit there and listen to their comedy. Loyalty is based on giving to others without compromising your boundaries. Okay. Three other things that are more proactive is spread the word of their efforts. Loyalty is going, these are the people I am loyal to. Here are opportunities. I don't have time to do this, or I'm unable to do this, but I know these people. I'm going to refer them. Okay. That's spreading the word of their efforts. That's even saying, hey, yeah, my buddy Mark or Fred or Chris or Albert or Christina or Gabby or whoever, they're doing X, Y, and Z. I'm really proud of them. And you're not even really like marketing anything. You're not saying go check this out, but you're talking to other people. And you go, oh yeah, my really good friend Gabby, she's working on this film, and it's about blank blank blank. And they go, oh, that sounds interesting. You go, yeah, it is pretty interesting. I can't wait till the film comes out. All you're doing is spreading the word of their effort. You're not going, hey, my friend is working on this thing. You need to see it. You're just being very supportive in that way. Be interested in their dreams and ambitions. Loyalty is focus. Loyalty is listening to hear, not to speak. Loyalty is understanding the value of the relationship by saying, I hear you, I see you, I know what you're doing, I love it, I'm ready to listen to what you got to do. How can I help you? And share information for wealth, health, and education. Loyalty is about sharing any information that will help wealth growth, health, and education. If you have friends that have knowledge, all right, or are doing things, and they're not giving you the wealth, the health, or the education, the information on those subjects, they're not loyal to you. They don't want to see you succeed. They're not interested in seeing you grow. They may tell you they're interested. They may say, no, I want to see you do great things. But if they are doing things where they're learning strategies and skills and tools and data, like if they learn a stock or they learn a different kind of food you could eat, right? And they're in your group and they don't tell you anything, that is not loyal. Loyal is wanting to see the people around you grow. That's why I always say we want to work together, grow together, and rise together. Working together is that we're working to achieve something. Even if we're not doing it together, I want the people around me to work. I want them to be doing something, right? The growth aspect is the knowledge. I learned this, you should know this. Growth is I got a promotion or I got an opportunity working on a project. I got an opportunity working on a show. I want to help you. I'm going to bring you along, right? And the rise together is as your value sets rise and you get more power, okay, you get more opportunities, more influence, you make sure you bring the people that matter in your life up with you. That's the rise together. Okay. Let me get a drink of water before we continue. Why didn't I talk like that the whole time? By the way, if you have comments, questions, Leave them in the comments below, as always. Okay. Honesty. Honesty. All right. Honesty is something that it's one of my morals. Tell the truth. Be honest with yourself and others, right? So basically, right? Being honest with yourself and others by allowing truth to be in both your words and actions. What you do or do not do, what you say and do not say represents your honest value. And honesty leads to a lot of loyalty, okay? So be open with communicating your feelings. One of the strongest things to building relationships and a mission is this is how I feel. Even if it's positive, negative, moot, you have to let people know where you stand emotionally. And then emotion could just be that you're really excited. Wow, that was really great what we did today. We got a lot done. Congratulations, right? Being honest with your feelings, but also, hey, I feel like you weren't really working, or we didn't get a lot done, or no one helped me today. It's okay to say that, because if you're telling people how you feel and they don't want anything to do with you and they're not listening to you, you're in the wrong circles. You should be able to tell somebody how you feel without them judging you or condemning you. All right? You should be able to have open communication on what needs to be done or what hasn't been done. That's the other thing. Again, if you say, I will do X, Y, and Z by this time, and you don't get it done, or you say, yes, I have been doing it, but you haven't been doing it, now you can't be trusted and you're not utilizing open communication, which means you have no honesty. You may have some honesty, but not enough for it to be valued. Okay? You can't be honest when it benefits you, because now you're not being sincere. All right. Straightforwardness. Straightforwardness is a powerful tool to have inside you as a will, right? It's okay to tell people when they're crossing the boundary. It's okay to tell them when they're doing great. It's okay to tell them that you feel good. It's also okay to say, hey, you didn't do that thing. It's also okay to say, do you need help? It's even more okay for someone to say, I need help. It's even more powerful to say, I am wrong. I was wrong. I don't know. I'm not even going to assume. Wait, the information you gave me, I'm going to need, I don't understand it enough. Let's go over it again. Straightforwardness. If somebody is they have sneaky behavior or hiding things, that is bad. There's no honesty in sneaky behavior or hiding things. Okay? If you're somebody that is trying to keep others from being aware of what you're doing, especially when they're supposed to be in your circle of influence, you're supposed to be friends in a relationship or whatever it is, intimate or whatever, platonic, or even family, and or you're both trying to grow a mission, either your own individual missions or missions together, or whatever the case may be. If you have somebody in your circle of influence, your friendships, your relationships, your whatever, your friends, family, and associates, and they have sneaky behavior or they are hiding things, the boundary should be, I need to cut this person out. Because if you can't trust somebody, you can't believe their honesty, no matter how much they beg and plead with you that they are being honest, or this was their real intent, or that's not what I was doing. I was doing it. But what is the outcome is, as we said, the words and actions. So if the words don't line up with the actions, all right, let's move on to some proactive aspects of honesty. There is never a need. There is never a need to lie. If so, leave. What that means is, if you're in a situation with a person or people or a mission, and you find yourself having to lie because you do not want to deal with the consequences, you need to leave that situation, or that person that you're dealing with needs to be tossed. And the reason is because this leads to continuous lying, and it leads to mistrust, and it leads to things that you'll never know if you can be aware of what they're doing. You never know that you'll be like, all right, they're going to definitely do what they said to do. So if there is a need to lie because you can't handle or somebody can't handle the truth, they have to leave, right? Because again, open communication. Be open with communicating your feelings. If you are open with communicating your feelings, you can tell the truth because you know that that friendship or that mission is strong enough with bonds going, listen, now that I know how you feel, it's important that we rework the behavior or whatever the case may be. You should never have to lie. Lying is bad as it is. However, lying because you're afraid of the response or the potential consequence, to be a little extreme. Did you steal that candy bar, kid? No. Why are you saying no? Because I don't want to get arrested. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to get slapped on the hand. I don't want to, whatever. Don't steal the candy bar. Like, anyway. Keep to your word or commitments. Honesty is bound in your word and actions. If you say you will do something, or you say, "Hey, I am A, B, and C. I have integrity. I'm good with blank, 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 and I know so and so." Right? Uh, if none of that works out, right? We know your word is no good. But the commitment aspect is important too. You say you will do X, Y, and Z, and you don't, or you say you will do X, Y, and Z, and you can't. It's okay to have open communication. Say, I don't know what I'm doing, or I thought I did, but I have no idea. How do we do this, right? So you got to keep to your word and commitments. If you don't, no honesty, right? And of course, gossip equals pattern behavior. All right, think about that for a second. Gossip equals pattern behavior. And what that means is if you are the person gossiping or someone is gossiping, if someone is talking bad about you, no, if someone talks bad about someone else to you, or you're talking bad about someone to you, keep in mind that is a pattern behavior. That means most likely they are doing that in general. It's good. It's good to get out your frustrations, obviously. Like if somebody like done you wrong and you're just like, oh, they did this thing, and it's okay to express that because you're frustrated. It's not okay to unwarrantedly attack others, right? So if someone is doing wrong by you and you want to get out that emotion, do it. You know, like if someone betrayed you, it's like so and so betrayed me. If somebody if you taught somebody stuff and then they end up taking that information and doing it themselves, and then like they screwed me, right? That's how you look at it. But if it is unwarranted, if they're just like, hey, did you hear about so and so? Or blank, blank, blank's a horrible person. And it's like, well, why are you saying it? Why are you saying they're horrible? Did they do something horrible to you? No. They're just horrible people. Look, they did this thing to somebody else. Well, that's both gossip and that's also talking poorly about people. So that's the pattern behavior is if it's unwarranted, if it is not a direct reflection of their behavior towards you and you're just trying to get it out, that is a gossip. And that's bad. Can't trust that person. Why? Because if they're just naturally talking about people or giving away secrets, what are they saying about you? And if you're doing it, what's that say about you? All right. Before we get to sincerity and explaining ways to show sincerity, by the way, this is how to show on loyalty: is stick with others when things are bad. Can you be trusted? Or is your promise empty? So just have strong promises. Don't break your promise. Support others even when it doesn't benefit you. Spread the word of their efforts. All this stuff is how to show your loyalty. And the value of honesty is all in this. The value of honesty are these things. Being open with communication brings you closer, allows it to be a very comfortable. Well, sometimes it's uncomfortable because you're talking about your feelings, but it's that I can trust that no matter how uncomfortable it gets, that I'm not going to be judged in a way that I can't be here. Okay. And all this other, all the keep to your word. All this stuff is the value of honesty. So before we get to the last part of the video, the sincerity, I'd like to say, please like, comment, and share the video, along with subscribing for future content. on how to be successful in your career, specifically the entertainment industry. We go over the process to succeed and what needs to be done to do your job so you are rewarded financially to do the thing you do passionately. Okay. Sincerity. And by the way, when I say subscribe, I am talking about the YouTube channel because I know that this is on Facebook groups and Twitch. You could also subscribe to Twitch. Okay. Sincerity. Now, just to clear it up because it's been 25 minutes. Sincerity is acting with no intent for personal gain, but to do for the growth of relationships and the mission. So your intent should be about growing the relationship value and the mission. If you're growing the relationship to gain something out of it and gaining not a relationship, but gaining like I'm going to utilize their resources, that is not sincere. If you're utilizing the relationship to get a part of the mission because the mission has resources or benefits, that is not sincere. So let's talk about it. Sincerity. Expectation or obligation is not sincere. Okay? If you feel like you are expected or obligated to do something, okay, there is no sincerity in that, right? If you expect others you set a standard that they are obligated to behave a certain way, there's no sincerity. For example, if you get involved with a mission and you expect the people in that mission to treat you a certain way, or you expect them to help you, or you expect them to give you advantage, there's no sincerity there, right? But if you join a mission and they don't, and by the way, this is without communication, right? But you join a mission and then you don't really know what to do. You ask what to do and they say, just work on that. But they expect you to do X, Y, and Z. There's no sincerity in that relationship. There's no communication. There's no truth in that relationship. All right. Taking advantage of others for gain. If you take advantage of anybody to gain, there's no sincerity. It's not, in my opinion, it is not difficult to want to grow a relationship with somebody just because you want to grow a relationship. I like this person, they like me. These people, I like them, they like me. Let's just put time into each other. Let's show loyalty and honesty. Let's be truthful with our efforts. But more importantly, if there's a mission at hand, and a mission, by the way, is just something somebody wanted to do and you said, yes, I'll work on it, or you decided to do something and someone said, yes, I'll work on it, or you got together one or more people and you're like, hey, we all came up with this great idea. Let's do it. The sincerity is that you're choosing to help somebody on their mission to grow the relationship and the mission, not get something out of it. You will get something out of it, but if you focus your energy on helping the person in the mission to be a part of it, that's sincere. If they do the same thing to you, there's sincerity. And if you're working with them and not using them to help your mission, if you have a project and you go, hey, yeah, sure, help me. And you're like, I'll just use them. I'll use their resources. That's not sincere. And also, if you get together with somebody and you came up with an idea and you're like, oh, this idea, as soon as something comes up for me, I'm skedaddle. There's no sincerity in it. Be true to your values in life, right? That's a part of honesty, but sincerity comes from being truthful to your values. What you believe in is important. If somebody does something to contradict your values, you're not being sincere. If you alter your values to fit in, you're not being sincere. Learn to be your truth. If people don't like who you are, they're not the people you should be around. And if you don't like who you are around others, it's okay to change your behavior to find growth, to recalibrate who you are, right? Because maybe you can't find people that fit with you, so you got to change a little bit of who you are, like what's not working. That's okay. It's okay to grow. But if you're changing your values to get people to like you, that's manipulation. All right, here's some proactive concepts for sincerity. Acknowledge your experience, okay? Sincerity is that sense of, hey, I want to help you, but this is literally what I'm capable of. I don't want you to think that I can do this stuff, but I'm willing to learn. That's acknowledging your experience. What is your skill set? What do you bring to the table? Being aware of that. There's a sense of sincerity to that because you're being truthful, first of all, and you're literally laying it on the table. This is who I am. This is what I got. Sincerity is being honest, right? And being yourself and being truthful. Take responsibility to your weakness and respectively to your strengths. If your weakness is there, take responsibility for it. If you're unable to do something or you thought you could do something and then you were unable to do it, it's okay to take responsibility for that weakness. No one cares if you can't do something. They care if you say you can do something and you can't. Meaning, well, you said you could do this. And you go, oh, well, I can. I thought what I was doing was right. Yes, but it's not right. Okay. The response should be, well, what do I need to do it right? Not, I'm going to continue to do it the way I want to do it. That's not taking responsibility to a weakness. Okay. But also, a strength is important. Take responsibility to your strength, right? Hey, somebody needs your help. You know what? I can absolutely help you with that. Right. And finally, but not least, be mindful of yourself and others. When you are working with a person or people just to build a relationship or elevate and grow a mission, listen to hear. Be present in what people are feeling. Be willing to acknowledge if you are being loyal or they are not being loyal or they are being loyal. Be honest and make sure other people are being honest with you. Be mindful of yourself and others. Is everyone fulfilling the boundary sets? And is the boundary sets communicated? It's like in a relationship. If you get into a relationship and you both agree to monogamy, but one person has an idea of what monogamy is and the other person has an idea of what monogamy is, there's no way it's exactly the same. So you have to have a conversation with it. I mean, I've literally seen people go, watching porno is cheating. And someone going, that's not cheating. Hugging a girl is cheating. No, that's not cheating, right? So the way you have to be mindful of yourself and others is to be able to say, hey, these are the boundaries. This is my understanding. If somebody wants you to get involved in a mission or do something, they go, hey, I need X, Y, and Z. You go, okay. When you say you need X, Y, and Z, is this what you're saying? Is this the outcome you're looking for? When someone doesn't, it's about the communication, right? So look, I know you said this, so let me clarify. Let me explain it back to you. And you tell me if that's exactly what it is and what you're looking for as an end result. Sincerity. So that's ways to show sincerity. Ultimately, stay away from placing expectations and obligations on people or being placed in that position. Taking advantage of others for personal gain is not sincere. So ways to show sincerity: get involved to elevate and grow a relationship or a mission. Be present in that relationship for the value of the relationship or the mission. What that means is, are you in that mission or that relationship because your time will lead to something bigger for you? Or are you in that mission and that relationship so as things happen, you go, you know what? Hey, I got this great opportunity, but I gave my word. Okay, I gave my word that I would help you finish this. You help finish that. Or just because you say, hey, I got this really great opportunity for X, Y, and Z. I gave you my word I would help finish you. That communication is allowing someone to say, yo, go do that. That's a huge opportunity. Now, both people are showing loyalty. Everyone showed honesty. And that's sincere. But in doing so, if that person gets that huge opportunity, what they should do is as they grow and gain influence, they should go, hey, I got here. I'm established. I want to bring you in to do something. Again, that's loyalty. You're being honest with yourself and others, and you're showing sincerity because you are there to work with people, grow with people, and rise with people. All right. So If you have questions about what today's lesson was, please comment below. I'll be happy to answer those at a later time or in another video. Like, comment, and share this video to spread the knowledge, because we spread knowledge so people can ultimately wealth, health, and education. You want to inform others on how to better themselves or how the process works. And subscribe if you're interested in learning how to succeed in your career, specifically the entertainment industry. We go over the process of how to do it. I'm Thomas J. Beleza. This is BBR Productions. I'll talk to you later. Have a great night, and bye.